Are you tired of creating courses that just don't sell? Today, I'm sharing a secret formula that top course creators use to make six figures, and you can too. Hi, I'm Brad Hauck, Mr. Web Marketing. I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs just like you create courses and grow them into large businesses. Now, sometimes those courses are to sell as courses by themselves. Sometimes they're lead generation courses. But no matter what sort of course you're creating, I can help you do it better. The first step to creating a great course is in the planning. You can't just sit down and record a course. Although I know a lot of people like to try. It seems like it's the sort of thing that takes no work at all. But I can tell you from my background as an educator, teaching any subject requires time and effort. No teacher walks into a classroom without a lesson plan. Or if they do, it means they've taught the subject before and they already had the lesson plan inside their head. So you need to plan out what you're going to do. You can't just go by the seat of your pants. It might seem like a cool idea at the time, but it really doesn't work out all that well in the end, because what you end up with is a disjointed collection of ideas. So the first key thing you need to look at is choosing the right topic for your audience. Now, this means understanding your audience and their needs and wants. Remember, when people are buying things, they're generally buying cures, not preventions. So while it's great to write a course that teaches people how to do something that will save them before it actually happens, the truth is most people want saving. In other words, they buy the aspirin after they've got the headache. They don't take the aspirin before they get a headache, just in case they get a headache. We need to sell people solutions to problems. So understand what your audience wants and what they need to learn at that specific time. You then need to really spend some time researching your audience and understanding what those pain points are specifically. You want to get as close as possible to the specific problem they're having. And this is one of the reasons why I speak so highly of developing micro courses. You can't target in on these really tight problems that people are having. And it's absolutely essential, if you're going to produce a course, that you're absolutely as tight as possible in on their needs and pain points. Otherwise, you're just not going to hit the target and they're not going to be interested enough to buy. The closer you are to the solution, to their specific problem, the easier it is to sell your course to that person. And the same goes if you're using a course as a lead magnet. In other words, you're putting out a small course to introduce people to a problem that they're having and how to solve it, that leads to your business being the expert in that area or able to supply a solution on top of that little mini course. You need to structure your course into bite-sized, actionable steps. So as a mini course, we're looking at taking a tiny little problem and then breaking it down into smaller steps and then teaching each of those steps separately and making sure people understand how they fit together so that they get to an outcome really quickly and effectively. Now, when I say really quickly, I don't mean it's done overnight. It could be over a period of weeks, but the point is they're able to implement this solution to that problem, take something that is really tight. So you could say, how to use Facebook. That could be your course. That's great, but Facebook is this massive animal and it's made up of many moving parts. And not all of them's a problem to someone at any particular time. But if you were to say to people how to create a Facebook page that attracts people to it, now you're talking about a specific part of Facebook, the page, and you want to create a page that attracts people to it. Break it down, bring it down really small, and then break it down into its tiny little chunks. Signing up for a page, adding the headers and pictures and logos, and writing your first post, sharing your post, whatever those angles have to be. But that's all done in the plan. They are the lessons. Now, if your course has got a couple of lessons per section, you might look at it as modules and lessons. If it's just a really tight course, it might just be 5 lessons or 7 lessons. I prefer to break things down in modules, and then for each module, I have an outcome, meaning that when people have completed that module, might be 1 lesson or it might be 5 little tiny ones, they will be able to do this particular thing and move on to the next one. So the outcome is, by the end of this, you will be able to sign up for a Facebook page. Bang. When they get to the end of that, it says, congratulations, you now know how to sign up for a Facebook page. Go and do it. And they're able to do it. So all about breaking these things down. So you need to go through your course and develop your modules and your lessons. Pretty simple. One of the things you can do to make that easier to find out what it is, the questions people are using, you can look at Google Trends, or you might use Answer the Public. There's all these tools that you can ask to find out what questions people are specifically asking. But step one, plan out your course. Now, step two, of course, is produce the course. How are you going to create the course? The first thing is you need some way to record it. So you might use audio, in which case you can just use the recorder software on your phone if you want to, or you might use a recording program on your computer, and there's lots of different free ones. All you need to do is look up free audio recording program. So Audacity, for example, is one that's completely free and works across all platforms. Doesn't matter whether you're on Mac or whether you're on PC or Chromebook or whatever, you'll generally find a version of it. Then, if you want to do video, well, most platforms have a video tool available. So one that's available on every platform I know is CapCut, which is available on your mobile phone. So you can shoot on your phone and edit on your phone or your tablet. And you can also edit on the desktop or through the browser. Also, you can use iMovie if you use a Mac. There's a whole pile of other tools like Descript that you can pay a flat rate each month and use them to do all your editing. So there's lots and lots of tools to use, and most of them are free. Another one I like for to record the screen and shows you in the corner is Loom. Loom is easy to use, and it just works through your Chrome browser. So just do a little bit of digging around. I'm sure you'll find some tools that actually help you record what you're doing. Once you have recorded it, of course, you need to create your content from that. What you're looking for is good quality sound, because sound is more important than the quality of the video, realistically, unless you're showing something that's super, super important. If you're talking to the camera like I'm talking to you right now, sound is more important than necessarily my face. You just need to know I'm there, because you're more likely to be listening more closely than you're looking while you're doing the activities or whatever it is. It's part of the course. So make sure you get the sound right. Get the video as good as you can. It doesn't have to be 4K. It can be 108, because most people's internet connections aren't all that crash hot. So you just want the best quality that you can output. And of course, if you store your video, you can use YouTube, for example, and make it unlisted and then embed the video on a page on your website. It will stream it at the highest quality that person can see. Lots and lots of little tools, but again, focus on audio quality, but not perfection. You just want the best results you can get within a reasonable time frame. Get it out the door. Good is good enough. And of course, you do need a bit of text, because you'll need some explanations. So you might have an introduction, followed by a video that people watch, followed by some questions. And you might have a worksheet that you've attached that people can download as a PDF and complete on their computer or print it out and do it by hand. All those things are quite simple. And of course, once you've got those things, you need a platform to store them on. And there is dozens of platforms to put courses on. Some are free, some are plugins for WordPress, so you can put them on your website. Some like Systeme, which is the one I use, and I highly recommend. And you'll find a link to that below in the comment section or the description. Take your website. It'll also allow you to have courses and communities and landing pages and all sorts of stuff for very low cost. So it's an exceptionally handy product. It has a basic course system, but that's all you really need to start out. A way to take money, get people into the course and allow them to progress through the course and complete the course and get a certificate at the end. So make sure you have a look at a few platforms. There's thousands, from Thinkific to Kajabi to so many, but don't spend a fortune. If this is just your first course or you're just testing the waters, you can literally create a web page and put your text on the web page, put your video on that web page, put some worksheets on that web page. And then when people pay, you can just send them an email with a link to that web page. You just make sure that the web page is not in a menu on your website. And that's how I started off selling courses. Most people will never find the page. And if you use a no-follow link in your actual settings on your web page, then Google won't index it either. So people won't be able to randomly find it. So unless they know where it is, and if you name the page something like course 123J75, no one's ever going to put that in. So you don't need lots of expensive software to launch a course, and you don't necessarily even need a platform. But if you want to get a platform, try some out, work out which one's going to be the best value for money. When you're selling hundreds of courses a day, that's fine to go and get some software that costs you $1,000 a month. But if you're not, you need to test the waters first. And remember, this is just a micro course. This is just a starter course. Lastly, step 3 is the promotion of your course. It's great. You've come up with the idea. You've produced the course and it's available online, but without promoting it, no one's even going to know it exists. So you need to be able to get out there and sell that course. And there's many ways to do that. You can talk to people and say, hey, I've produced a great course. You should buy it. And you could sell it offline and send them a link. Or you can use a landing page that has a description of the course, a little bit of video telling them about it, and then a buy now button. And you can use a dozen different platforms to do that. But even just making a plain page on your website, but make sure you use a little bit of sales copy in there. You have to convince people that this is a good course and that they need this and this will solve their problem. The course solves a problem. We're trying to sell cures, not prevention. So make sure that you're putting that down on your page and have a read through it. And if it's interesting, get a few other people to look at it and get some opinions on it before you launch it to the public. And then you can start to share it on your social media. You can start to push out little videos on Instagram and Reels on Facebook and YouTube and get the message out there that you've got a course that can solve this particular problem. And keep pushing it. Keep getting it out there. Keep repeating the message. But if you create the right message and you keep it interesting and the people following you are interested in the same sort of things you are, they might be the people who are looking for the cure that you're selling. What you can also do is, obviously you can sell a course, but you can bonus it up as well. So you can make it more enticing than just the cure. I'll also give you some bonus things. I might teach you the next step for free. So after you've created your Facebook page that you're creating, I'm going to teach you the next step, which is like how to run Facebook ads to your page or something. Completely up to you. But bonusing up gives more value to the person who's buying it. They're getting good value already, obviously. But if you can make that value add up to something a little bit more, then people are more inclined to part with their money. You might even do something like a free webinar. Free webinar is a great one. People who sign up get to join the webinar, or a mastermind call where they can ask questions of you based on the course you had. Or if you're like me, I have a mastermind group where people pay a monthly fee and they can go in there and they can ask any questions they like about their digital marketing and course creation. There's so much you can do. But remember, when you're out there, you need to promote this. Just creating a course is not enough. There is millions of courses that no one signs up for because they don't know they exist. And they're great courses, but the person who's created it isn't great at marketing. So you need to become a marketer. And if you stick with this YouTube channel, I'm going to teach you how to become that marketer so that you can actually take what you're selling, and whether it's a course or a product or a service, promote it to other businesses, to customers, and turn that into cash flow for your business. Remember, when you've finished promoting it, you're going to have customers. Ask your customers for a testimonial and then put that testimonial on your sales page, because you want the words of your customers to encourage your future customers to buy. That builds credibility. It shows that other people like your work and that it's worthwhile buying. So, are you ready to start selling a course like a pro? Then download my free checklist. I'll link to it below, and I will give you the tips that I've covered today that you can use to start growing your course business, get your first micro course out there, and get started on that. And if you are interested in joining my group, please follow the link below and register. I am looking for members to take on from time to time who are interested in growing their businesses online and growing a course business. Brad Hauck, Mr. Web Marketing. I can't wait to teach you some more in my next videos.